Hey, it's John from stopsaving.com and welcome to the next video in our course about trading and technical analysis. In the last video, I gave you a basic overview of TradingView and some of its features. In this video, we'll focus specifically on tailoring your charting experience so your dashboard looks the way you want it. So let's jump in. So here's what you'll learn in this video. Number 1, how to set the general style of your TradingView dashboard. For example, the background color, grid lines, and the text style. 2, how to set your chart to logarithmic scale. 3, how to add or remove various labels from your chart. 4, how to save TradingView style templates for later use. And finally, number 5, how to format different aspects of your chart to your chosen style, for example, drawings and indicators. So here we are in TradingView with a fresh weekly chart of the Nasdaq. And as you can see, our chart comes with a default style depending on whether you're in dark mode or in light mode. So let's put the theme back to dark mode in this example and then start tailoring the style of our TradingView dashboard. We're going to work with 2 different settings icons to tailor our chart. The first is this gear icon at the top right, which has more to do with the stylistic elements of your chart, like color and text size. The second gear icon is at the bottom. This has more to do with the formatting of the price axis and how the data is presented. So let's start by clicking this first gear icon. As you can see, this shows a pop-up with different chart settings. First, the symbol settings here. I could edit the color of my price candles or exclude price wicks. There's also a price line option which lets you add or remove the line showing the last traded price of the asset. I'm going to leave these with the classic red and green and keep the wicks on the candles. Next up is the status settings option. This lets you change what's displayed in the top left-hand corner of your chart. Things like the symbol name, ticker, and description. I'm going to leave this as is for now. Now moving down to the scales option. This lets you change what's displayed on the right-hand axis. For example, you could add or remove the ticker symbol, current price, and last major highs and lows. I'm going to just make one change here and check the symbol name so it appears on my chart. Finally, we're going to look at the canvas settings. With this option, you can change the background color of your chart, add or remove grid lines, and add lines to the margins. So I'm going to go ahead and make my background color black and get rid of the grid lines. I'm also going to change the margin text from gray to white and then make it slightly bigger to 16 points. I'm also going to add white lines to the margins too and then make them 100% visible. The trading and event settings are not something you need to worry about for your analysis, so you can ignore these for now. So now that I'm happy with my chart layout, I'm going to go ahead and save it as a template. I'll save this as my chart and click OK. And I can now apply this style again later on if I like. Let's now look at the second gear icon so we can format our price axis and data points. This has different features to allow you to scale your chart in different ways. Now, this chart is currently set to regular. This means TradingView has not scaled the chart to log scale. Recall from the last video on Fibonacci levels that setting your charts to logarithmic scale is usually better, especially when zooming out to longer timeframes. That's because a log chart can make you focus on the percentage changes in price rather than the absolute number of points in the price. Take this recent move here on the Nasdaq of just under 50%. With a regular chart setting, this looks massive compared to this 50% move in 2009. But if we now switch to log charts, a 50% move looks the same, regardless of when it happened. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this in log charts as it's my preferred choice, especially when trading long-term timeframes. Let's now look at how to draw and format trend lines. So I'm going to switch to the S&P 500, ticker SPX, and I can then draw a trend line over here, connecting this series of lower highs on the index. Notice that the trend line is blue right now, but if I wanted to make the trend line white, for example, I could just right-click on it and then click Settings from the pop-up and change the color and thickness of the trend line. I'm going to make this white for now and then save this as a template for later use. Just like I can draw and format trend lines, I can also draw and format support and resistance boxes. This time I'm going to use the rectangle tool and draw a rectangular resistance box. I'll go ahead and make this yellow with no background and save it as a template. Last but not least, let's look at how to format TradingView indicators. I'll start with the simple moving average. Now, by default, TradingView first sets this to a thin dark blue line that represents the 9-period moving average. But like with trend lines and rectangles, you can change how indicators are displayed on your charts by right-clicking the indicator and then clicking Settings. So I'm going to make this moving average a thicker green line and then set it to the 50 period. Since we're on the weekly chart, I've now got the 50-week SMA for the Nasdaq. Let's save that as a default too. I could also use a similar process to change the appearance of the relative strength index. I'll make this blue and make the background color a very slight white shade. I'll save this as a template too. Of course, you can do the same thing for any indicator. It's all the same process. So that's it for this video. You should now have a good idea of how to set up and tailor your TradingView dashboard. In the next video, we're going to do a case study where we build our chart from scratch. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.